is Coach Michael Dill, and we're here with Candy Cohn today from Oasis Senior Advisors. And Candy, why don't you take a moment and just introduce yourself, your company, your role, what you do, and so on.
Okay, hi. Thanks for having me today, Michael. My name is Candy Cohn, and I'm the owner of Oasis Senior Advisors South Florida. We are a free service helping seniors and their families find senior living in Palm Beach and Broward County. And we're a franchise, so we're part of a national company, and we can help people all over the country as well.
Excellent. And Candy, if you'd be so kind, tell us a little bit more about the organization and who you specifically serve and how you help them.
We help seniors and their families who are starting to think about senior living or who sometimes are already in the throes of knowing they need to find senior living. And this could be independent living, assisted living, and memory care. I tell people we're kind of like a combination of a social worker and a realtor. So the social worker piece, we do an assessment, find out what's going on with them, what their needs are. Do they actually need help with activities of daily living right now, or is it maybe just getting too much to manage the house and live alone? Oftentimes the adult children are the ones who call us. They notice that their parents' memories are starting to fail, or they've been calling 911 a lot, and it's time to look into a safer kind of environment for them. When we do that assessment, we also talk, of course, about finances so that we can start to narrow down the senior living community choices to places they can afford. We can also help them figure out some financing options. There is money available through the VA and through Medicaid. So I help people understand what's involved with that, and I refer them to other consultants that help them with those specific things. So as a certified senior advisor, we understand the whole picture of what seniors might need, and our specialty is the senior living component, but we're able to refer them to elder law attorneys and senior move managers, geriatric care managers. So we really work closely with a lot of associates who are our partners, our strategic partners. And then the realtor piece, we go with them on the tours. Of course, right now the tours are being done virtually, so it's a whole new ball game right now. And I'm sure a lot of those virtual tours will continue, at least as an opening piece for seniors to look at communities. But we're their advocate. That's the main role that we play. So every senior living community is going to try to sell them on that community. We're there to look out for our clients' needs, because complicated situations can arise, and what their situation is today is not going to be how it's going to continue. So we want to make sure they're in a place where they can age in place safely and to be able to afford to stay there as well.
Perfect. So it sounds, Candy, that you save not only the client, but their family a tremendous amount of stress, time, and energy going through that process. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Because it can be really overwhelming to do this on your own. When you just go on the internet and start searching, you're going to see what they want you to see, and you're not going to have any idea if it's in your price range. Most websites don't list prices, and you're not going to know what the community feels like. You know, I've been in all of these communities. I bring people there all the time. I know what it feels like. I know the culture. I know what the people who live there are like. And so I get to know my clients in a different way than the salespeople at the communities do. So I can really say and be there for the client.
Excellent. And what has been your biggest challenge in this current cycle, and how have you been able to migrate through this, Candy?
Well, the challenge, of course, starts with the fact that the elderly are one of the most vulnerable populations and being affected, probably more than anyone by this coronavirus. So it really hit home for me about 8 weeks ago when two separate clients called me within a day of each other. They were both supposed to move by the end of that week to a senior living community I had found for them. They both called and said, my doctor said I can't move right now, that it's not safe to move. And I thought, oh boy, this is what's going to start happening. And then the second thing that happened that same week, my mother, my 96-year-old mother, lives in a residential care home assisted living. And I was on my way to visit her. And as I was getting off the exit of I-95, the owner called me and said, I just want to let all the families know we're not allowed to have visitors anymore for a while. And I said, oh my goodness, I just couldn't believe it. And I was ready to try to convince her why she should let me come, of all people, because I'm in the industry. And then I realized that's why I shouldn't come. I should thank her. And so I did. I said, thank you for doing the right thing. That day, Governor DeSantis had actually put into act an emergency order saying that the all senior living communities, assisted living, long-term care, skilled nursing facilities had to limit their visitors to only essential people. So that's been a challenge. I have continued to just move forward and keep up with clients and with my referral sources. I'm not trying to convince anyone that this is the right time to move, but I have just stayed on a daily routine as usual. And I know, I feel strongly, and other people in the industry do too, that once things kind of lighten up a little and those visitation rules are lifted and the quarantine rules are lifted, that people will be ready to move. So I would say I'm mitigating it by just hanging in there, being persistent, and having faith also.
Beautiful. Awesome. And would you be so kind if your organization, I know they're a franchise, I know your owner, Tim, very well, and will you touch on the organization's core values and how that makes a difference in all the franchisees and such?
Sure. Our core values, I would say, are ethics and compassion at the root of it all. Our mission is to use our expertise and our high ethical standards as certified senior advisors to guide families, seniors and their families, to make the best decisions regarding their care and their living situation. Each
Excellent.
situation is different, so we really do offer personalized attention and evaluation for each family. It's not the same decision. It's not an easy decision, and it depends on all of the different factors involved for us to help figure out where will they be safest first. So for some people right now, being at home might be the safest option, but for others, they're really not safe at home, and moving still is the best thing to do. So our compassion, our honesty, our ethical practices, I think, are what really set us apart and keep us going.
Excellent. And over this last couple of months with this pandemic, what one or two actions have you been taking to make a difference in your business with this the shifts you have to make?
I've been focusing on my team and on the senior living communities, and then on following up with clients and making sure they're okay. The first thing I really started doing was getting on the phone and calling the senior living communities. I deal with over 100 communities in Palm Beach and Broward County, and it's my job to be the expert and for my associates. So we just started calling and talking to the salespeople and the executive directors, finding out what procedures they had in place, what protocols, what are they accepting new residents? That's the first question, because we do have people that want to move, and we need to know if they are even going to be able to move to those communities. And it's been really good for our relationships with those communities, as well as, of course, for us to really be experts and to be able to tell our clients honestly what is going on and all the things they have to consider if they do want to move right now. And if they don't want to move right now, we're able to still keep them looking at communities through the virtual tours. So I think, really tracking and helping my team to do that, and to give my team something to focus on as well, by calling all these people and knowing that we really need to be on top of this. And in fact, by staying on top of it, I actually was interviewed by a newscaster one day about what was going on when the list of senior living communities with COVID-19 cases first came out. So of course, I was really glad that I had the inside knowledge and updates that I did have.
Excellent. Well, I know for a fact, Candy, I mean, the way you represent your clients, your humbleness, And the way you have their back is if anyone's looking for this type of service, you are definitely the person to go to. There's no doubt. And your expertise and knowledge in the field and of the landscape is unmatched. And an interesting question I'd like to throw at you, Candy. It's been said smart people learn from their mistakes and wise people learn from the mistake of others. What mistakes have you made along the way, whether it's just the last couple of months or just in your business as a whole, that you can share that other entrepreneurs can learn from your experience?
I would say that time management is definitely a challenge for me, and working from home during this time has definitely been tough. I'm more of a people person. I like to be out there meeting with people in person and get the energy going that way, and just keep everything happening. So now I've been sitting at my computer a lot, and I've been getting up and taking breaks and going outside. But I think sometimes I'm getting still sucked into the internet, that black hole of the internet. You know, emails start coming in and I start answering them when I really may have something else that I had intended to focus on that day. So I'm always working harder at that. I know that I need to get some of those priorities out of the way early in the day so that I don't find the hours have gone by and I don't know why I didn't get that first thing done yet. I would say that's the major mistake that I make and still am working hard on.
Yeah, we're all a work in progress, aren't we?
Absolutely.
And one final valuable piece of advice that you would like to share with our listeners today, if there's one thing they can do to help themselves to get better, whether it's now or the future, what would you advise them to do?
I would say, first of all, having a coach has been really, really helpful to me, and I highly recommend that to everyone. During this time might be a time when people think they don't need that they don't want to spend the money or don't need it, you know. But it has helped me to stay really focused and grounded. And within that comes that I've gotten into some great daily practices, rituals, routines. I start my day the same way every day and have continued to do so. I meditate. I say the self-confidence formula from Think and Grow Rich. I exercise. I eat a good, healthy breakfast and then get to work. So I would say all the rituals and the routines and healthy practices and mindfulness are the things I would highly recommend to people.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that valuable advice. Mind, body, heart, spirit. If we stay in that portion and take care of ourselves, our clients, and our team and our company, everything else should take care of itself. Candy, it has been an absolute delight speaking to you today. If anybody's looking to place their parents or their loved ones in a place, Candy is definitely a person in Palm Beach County and Broward County. I know her personally. She's total integrity and a true professional. So I want to thank you today and wish you well.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
You too.